With all the Switch 2 hubbub, that got me thinking about the console wars. This really took off in the 90s as the bit wars, talking about which console had the best graphics, the most blast processing, and today not much has changed. But now graphics barely improve between generations, so it's all about how many Ks and FPS something can run at now. To me, that's not nearly as important as price or games, which games are definitely the second most talked about thing at least. Mario or Sonic, Gears of War, or God of War. But what no one ever talks about is console longevity. Are these companies building these things to last? Most people I know abandon their old consoles the second they get the successor, so they probably don't care. But there's got to be a few people like me who routinely play the older stuff and still buy games for them decades later. So I want to take a look at all the consoles I own, which is pretty much all the Nintendo and Sony ones, and see how they've stood the test of time. That way we know, are we really getting our money's worth with these things?
So this is the original Switch, pre-ordered day one. I probably only put 400 hours on it, if that. It's 8 years old and works great. A lot of people talk about the Joy-Con drift or something. I never had an issue with that. And then we have the Switch OLED. Again, probably only put 400 hours on. Had it about 2 years. No issues whatsoever. So at least for brand new consoles, they're okay. Here we have the PS2 Slim. The original PS2 just turned 25 this year. It does not work well. I'm thinking about replacing it. It has trouble reading the discs. The controller doesn't always register. These kind of got real sticky out of nowhere just recently, actually. When I'm playing games, anytime there's a load screen, it's like a 50-50 shot of it freezing. This is from when I was a kid, so me and my brothers combined probably put like at least 3,000 hours on it. This is the white Wii that came out in '06. I probably got mine in '08. Put a good amount, probably around 1,000 hours on it. But after like 3 years, it stopped reading discs, so I wound up getting this black one. I pre-ordered this, so whenever Black Wii's came out, I think it was like about 3-4 years. It was literally like right around the time the white one stopped working, this one came out, so I got it and have not had a single issue with it since, and I've put at least 2,000, 3,000 hours on it. Maybe, I have no idea, but Wii remotes all work. For some reason, these got real sticky and gross out of nowhere, and I haven't used them in a long time because I used the black one that the black one came with, so I don't know what that's about. N64, this thing is going on 30 years old, if you can believe it. The reset button does not work. It doesn't always read the games. It has a tough time reading the games like all cartridge things, but otherwise, when it works fine. So Super Nintendo, 35 years old now, probably. This is the second one I've had. My first one broke because my brother got mad at us and threw it out across the lawn. To the Super Nintendo's credit, the first time he did it, it was fine. It still worked. After that, he did it again, and this back part chipped off, and then immediately after, he threw it one more time, and it like shattered into a million pieces. This thing works. It has trouble reading the cartridges like all old games. The power cable, this, I always have to adjust this, like wiggle this around and leave it just right for it to actually work. And I had the same issue with my first Super Nintendo. I've played this a lot, so easily 2,000 hours probably. The controllers are kind of ripped up. They don't work great. One of them works okay. The other one, like the select button, you have to like push really hard down. So the PS1, I haven't touched in like forever. I don't even have the cables for it anymore. At the time, it worked fine. Probably put like 500 hours on it and it worked fine, but I haven't played it in probably 15, 20 years because I lost all the games and the cables when we moved, so poor guy. But still opens, so that's a plus. PS3, this is the slim version. I probably got this in 2010-ish. Never had an issue with it. The only thing maybe is sometimes it just won't shut off and I have to unplug it, which is kind of annoying, but it only happened like 3 times out of 2,000, 3,000 hours I put on it. I'm guessing these, so I really don't know. The first PS3 I had was my brother's actually, and that was the original model, and his stopped working, and he had to send it out to Sony to get it fixed. But thankfully, this newer version, not a single issue. Wii U, this I've had since pre-order, so this came out in 2011, if I recall. I have no issues with it. Definitely the controller, the battery does not last nearly as long as it used to. It probably lasts under an hour now. It charges pretty fast, and the system as a whole probably runs slower. And I don't know if this just never happened or it's something that's come up recently, but I've noticed, at least for like the past 5 years, if I don't turn the system on with the controller like kind of facing in front of it, like if I'm like too far away to the off to the left or something, they won't connect, and then this won't shut off and I have to unplug it. I don't know if it always did that or just since it's gotten older, but otherwise it plays everything well and I have no issues with that. PS5 I've only had for a year probably. I've probably only put 100 hours on it, so what's to say? It's brand new and it works fine. So the Sega Genesis, someone gave me this. This isn't the one I had as a kid. The one I had as a kid worked great. I mean, at the time it was less than 10 years old, but never had an issue with it. This one someone gave me with no power cable and Sonic 2 and Super Mario Brothers 3 on the NES. So I do have the controllers, but I can't use it. And then all these minis consoles are all brand new. I haven't even played these three yet. They all work great though. I've played every game on these too. I've messed around with this one, and those, when I tested them, all work, so I don't foresee any issues with those. This is my PS4. I think this console came out in 2012, and I believe I got mine in 2015. Probably only have about 400 hours on it. I haven't really played this one too much. I just use it now as a Blu-ray player. Never had any issues with it. I mean, it's not that old, so at least that's a plus.
And to be thorough, I did have a GameCube that's with my brother right now. That by far got the most use from many of us in our lifetimes. We're talking probably 4,000 or 5,000 hours. We probably got it in '02 or '03, and after about 4 years, it started having trouble reading the discs, and sometimes would take a few times of like turning the power on and off to get it to work. The button to open the disc tray also would get stuck, and you just have to press it down again to unstick it. I just use the Wii to play GameCube games now, honestly, because it's just a lot less hassle.
I'd say all the consoles do very well. Super Nintendo and PS2 and 64, they're the losers in this console war, I would say, for not holding up for decades. Like, come on, guys. And this lightweight, like, what are you doing? Like, why'd you stop working on me?